I'm sorry, you caught me napping. We had a very slow race weekend, being no race. But welcome to the Cheese and Alien Show, week number 7. Hope everyone had a wonderful and blessed Easter, able to spend time with friends and family. And I'm glad there wasn't a race because then the drivers were also able to enjoy and celebrate in this wonderful weekend. First, want to give my shout outs. First, Mr. Casey Kane turned, 28 on Tuesday. Happy birthday, Casey. Hope you had a wonderful day. And hope that these 3 races this weekend, nationwide, Cup, Trucks, hope you can get a victory in all 3. If not, just get one in one. Cap off that birthday week with a win, at least one. I would love to see 2 or 3. Next, shout out to somewhat NASCAR related Bubba Watson. Congrats on winning the Masters. Now, he's got a big name NASCAR friend, Denny Hamlin, which I'm saying he's a good luck charm because he helped him. Denny was his caddy in the par 3 tournament. Bubba even let him shoot the last shot of the tournament, which was, I bet that was very exciting for Denny. And then Denny has to give him, doesn't have to, he decided to give Bubba a fire suit to go with his General Lee. One of the original General Lees from the Dukes of Hazzard. The matching fire suit. What other golfer has a fire suit, let alone one that matches their General Lee car? So congratulations, Bubba, on the Masters, that green jacket. Hope you enjoy that. I know you will. Next. That's it for the shout outs. I wanted to talk about Race Hub. I currently at home do not have Speed Channel, but I'm house sitting for the week, and so I'm taking full advantage of Speed Channel, being able to watch Race Hub every night this week. And the episode that really caught my eye was on Tuesday. The big thing, BK Racing was in, so we got to see Travis Kvapil as well as Landon Castle. I grew up very close to Iowa, where Landon is from, and so I got to cheer on that hometown boy. And then also we had Clint Boyer stop by. I'll just call him Mr. Obnoxious because he got on there, and of course he had to give Jimmy Spencer a hard time. Turd in his mouth, landing out the straitjacket to drivers. But I'm glad Jimmy Spencer got the last word at the end of the show. And speaking of Jimmy Spencer, he recapped top 5 moments of the NASCAR season. Of course, number 1 being Montoya and the jet dryer meeting explosively. But I don't know if anything's going to be able to top that. That's going to be very hard to beat. And I know that was dangerous, but that's very memorable. And then one of the other items he talked about was Kurt Busch, radio sweetheart. That sounds familiar. We heard that several times last year, Kurt Busch, Radio Sweetheart. We've heard it maybe once or twice already this year, besides Tuesday. Kurt Busch, Radio Sweetheart. I thought you went to Phoenix for the fun of racing. What happened to the fun of racing at Phoenix with James Finch? I'm sorry, you went to Phoenix knowing that you weren't going to have the top equipment that you had at Penske. You don't have the top equipment like Hendrick does, like Childress, like Gibbs, Roush, all of those teams. They're able to get the top-notch equipment with the money that they have. James Finch does not quite have that, and so it's very unfortunate. You're one of my favorite drivers, Kurt. And it's very unfortunate that you have had the troubles that you've had. But you knew going into this, in a way, that you weren't going to have that top equipment anymore. So I really hope your luck changes for these last 30 races. And I hope you really get into that mind frame of being in the car for the joy of racing. It's fun. So, and I know it's hard to think that it's fun when engines are blowing up and you're getting loose and going into the wall, but I really hope you can turn that attitude around and you can really enjoy yourself in that car. Enjoy that experience. Alright, first, nationwide race is up first this weekend. Wanted to give a warning to 42 drivers. There's one driver that's going to be out there that I'm pretty scared for you for. Steve Wallace is back. I hope that you can just get around him, leave him in the dust, so that you are able to be free of any wreckage that he could cause, be a part of. So, Steve Wallace is back, and I'm praying for those other 42 that you can avoid the Steve Wallace carnage. Next, with Nationwide, brought it up a couple weeks ago, sponsorship for Kenny Wallace and Trevor Bayne, or the lack thereof as far as sponsorship wise. And because there's a lack of sponsorship, neither of them will be racing this weekend, which makes me and the Cheese very sad because we love both of them. But in that 09 car, Kenny Wallace's 09, that will be on track with Ryan Truex at the wheel. Congrats, Ryan Truex. I wish you the best of luck this weekend. Hope you can take advantage of being in the car and I hope you do really well at Texas. And another thing that's really shocking, Trevor Bayne, no sponsorship. Didn't he win this race in the fall in the Nationwide Series? I'm pretty sure he did, giving him his first Nationwide win. So that's very shocking that he does not have a sponsor for this race. Next, Mr. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I think, especially for the sake of this weekend, I will call him a cowboy that grew up in the wrong state. He has a huge cowboy boot collection. We all know that. He's got a huge belt buckle collection, and he's not afraid to share pictures of that. And I found out this week, it's probably been known to many people, he has a hat collection. And so he would love to win at Texas, not just for the win, but for the hat to add to his collection. So, Ricky, I am hoping you pulled it off, and to me, it's kind of odd, this cowboy that grew up in Mississippi. But I think you're in the right place this weekend. Hope you can get to victory lane and get you that hat. Next, with Nationwide, Timmy Hill is back. 2011 Rookie of the Year winner. I know he fought hard against Blake Cook for that Rookie of the Year award, and I'm glad he's back in Nationwide. I personally, and Cheese feels the same way, we didn't think he was ready to go to Cup, so it was very surprising to us that he went to Cup right away. We did wish him the best. We were hoping for the best. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it happen, and so we're very happy that he's back in Nationwide, really hoping that he can really, he's been working hard. I'm hoping he can really improve those skills, that he can continue to improve. That way, in the future, he will be able to go back to the Cup level and really contend, really be a force to be reckoned with. Next, yesterday on Speed Channel, they announced the Hall of Fame nominees for the 2013 class for the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Me being somewhat of a new fan, a lot of those names I've maybe heard before, a lot of those I have not whatsoever, and so I don't know exactly their accomplishments are, but I will say I know Richard Childress, Rick Hendrick were on the ballot for last year, and so they are returning along with 18 others that didn't win for the 2012 class of Hall of Fame drivers, and I was glad to see another name on there, fellow Missourian Rusty Wallace. I grew up in Missouri, in the St. Louis area for a while, so glad to see a St. Louis boy, be on the ballot, be able to be voted in to the Hall of Fame very soon, hopefully. And so, Richard Childress, Rick Hendrick, Rusty Wallace, congrats, and hope at least one of you, if not all three of you, are able to make it into that Hall of Fame very soon. Speaking of Rusty Wallace, and again, I'm part biased. Well, today I'll be mostly biased. He is a very smart man. He predicted winners for the Nationwide and the Cup races this weekend at Texas. He picked Ricky Stenhouse Jr. for Nationwide, Roush Fenway driver, and he picked Matt Kenseth to win for the Cup, another Roush Fenway driver. I'm hoping that happens. And if not Matt Kenseth in the Cup for Roush, Carl Edwards, Greg Biffle, those would be great options as well. Get that hat, get those pistols for that Roush Fenway team. That would be wonderful. Next, the trucks are returning to Rockingham Speedway. I have not seen on TV, witnessed a race at the Rock, and so I am very excited that they are back. I've heard many good things about Rockingham, and so I'm excited to see what goes down at the Rock. Very excited to have that happen, and also for Casey to be able to be there for that return too. Finally, not really NASCAR, but seems that the Cheese and I have a trend going. We can agree on drivers, we can't agree on any other sports teams. In baseball, she's a Cubs fan, which won the World Series, I think, when Lincoln was president, or somewhere around that time, maybe a couple of years before Lincoln's time. And then, of course, I'm a St. Louis Cardinals fan, winners 6 months ago of the World Series, congrats. And they're starting off really well this season too, so we'll see if they can do a repeat. Next, for college sports, she is a Wisconsin Badgers fan, as you found out, and it was very hard for me to buy that shirt because I am a Iowa Hawkeyes fan, and so again, we cannot agree there on a team. And then finally, NHL playoffs. She's being in the area that she is. She's a Blackhawks fan, Chicago Blackhawks, and being that I became a hockey fan, what was it, early last year, I think, and being in the area that I'm in, what's available for me to watch, I became a Phoenix Coyotes fan. And so, of course, they have to play each other in the first round of the playoffs. So, good luck to the Phoenix Coyotes. It's a whiteout tonight in Phoenix, and I pray that those Coyotes are able to pull it off against the Blackhawks. We were able to do it in the regular season. Let's make it happen in the playoffs, boys. Alright, so that's it for this week's episode of the Cheese and Alien Show. And tune in next week to see what the Cheese has to say, recap about what happened in Texas and at the Rock. Hope you have a wonderful week.